As I referred at the beginning of Mass, this week we're celebrating National Marriage Week, so it's very easy for me to come up here as a celibate and tell you wonderful platitudes about marriage and unity and fidelity, the need to love your spouse. However, I'm going to try not to do that this morning, especially those who are married. You know that not only in marriage, but in life itself, there can be some very dark times. There can be moments of hopelessness. Sometimes in our marriages, it's not always fair. Things don't always play out the way that we thought they would. And sometimes in marriages, it is 50-50. But depending on where you are, sometimes marriages may feel like it's 70-30 or even 80-20. And sometimes when that happens, if you're not careful, resentment can set in. Sometimes our spouses are a little bit more emotionally inept than you may be. Sometimes we come from families that didn't share feelings at all, like a Czech family. We didn't know what feelings were. Sometimes your spouse may experience some form of trauma that is a trouble for them, sometimes even incapable of really sharing emotions. And sometimes for them it's even harder to listen when you really need to share where you're at. They can be a faithful spouse, they can always be present, but sometimes there can be feelings of disconnect. Sometimes in marriages, you may be on a different planet spiritually than your spouse. Or God's not really a big thing in their life, and then there's another form of disconnection. Because spiritual intimacy is not a common thing. Sometimes it's physical detachment. It's as easy as not being around, overworking, playing too much, not spending enough quality time with their spouse, or even a lack of conjugal love in marriage because you may be lacking in the emotional or spiritual departments. Sometimes your spouse is addicted to work, to Netflix. Sometimes it's sex, food, booze. Whatever it is, it's a dependency on something else that's not you and not God. Sometimes it's not always as dramatic. You may get bored in your marriage or fall out of love. Maybe they're just really stubborn. But in your vows, you said, "Till death do we part." I hope that everyone is riding high in your marriage right now. It's not always the reality. No one signs up for a marriage thinking that you or your spouse or your marriage would ever go through a dark time that can last even years. When the moment of your vows, it says in the good times and in the bad. And I think this is an analogy for Christian life because there is joy, there's happiness, there's beautiful worship, but there's also the promise of what? The cross. And real, intense suffering. St. Paul spoke today about preaching Jesus Christ and Him crucified. He also promises a life full of abundance and a room in heaven for us. We have to go through the cross of suffering in it, in good times and in bad. And from a distance, maybe our reading from Isaiah seems disconnected within the context of marriage. But I want to read the last sentence of that reading again to put it in context. If you remove from your midst oppression, false accusation, and malicious speech, if you bestow your bread on the hungry and satisfy the afflicted, then light shall rise for you in the darkness, and the gloom shall become for you like midday. Maybe one way we can reflect on this is that if it was yesterday or even 20 years has ever lied, or gone behind your back, or gossiped about your failings with the girls or the guys. They've been unfaithful in any small or big way, whatever, to the midst of whatever darkness or whatever sin that you or marriage has experienced. There is a very real potential of light rising out of the darkness. You can and will come out of the gloom, but it doesn't just happen. There's a caveat to this. If you stay faithful to your spouse, if you satisfy the afflicted spouse, if you seek out real forms of healing for them, if you forgive them over and over and over again, and if you give them the bread of love, even when they don't seemingly deserve it. I know sometimes that we can rationalize that when our spouse sins badly, when they begin to go off the deep end sometimes, it gives us permission to sin ourselves. It gives us permission to self-medicate. Well, if they did this or that, then the temptation comes in, then I need to do X, a sense of rebellion. Or it gives us permission to get back at them, or always hold this carrot of shame over what they did over their head. Look, y'all, sin breeds more sin, does it not? Whenever our spouse screws up, it doesn't ever give us permission to also act out ourselves or to get back at them. Because ultimately, sin takes down marriages. Resentment and revenge does as well. In the context of marriage, Isaiah can be interpreted that the only way out of dark moments of marriage is through the holiness of the spouse, through their fidelity, drawing the other back to God slowly, through their fidelity to God, allowing God's grace to really bring healing between them. And maybe if I tell you that, you might have an initial reaction. Well, Father, why is the burden on me? Why put it on my responsibility? They're the ones who are having the issues. They're the ones who are screwing everything up. Why do I have to save us, or our marriage, or them? Well, you don't. All you have to do is be faithful to your vows and to your spouse. God's the one who saves. God's the one who brings healing. God is the one who enters in. And one of the most important things that we can recognize about marriage is that we are all broken people, and broken people marry other broken people. But sometimes when one of us is struggling more than the other, they need a strong rock to stand on, and not to be abandoned in times of their great darkness. Even if you yourself feel betrayed or resentful, they still need you. Isaiah said, light will shine out of the darkness if we do the basics. If we give bread to the hungry, light will shine out of the darkness. Maybe we can simply just show more love to our spouse, or by forgiving them over and over and over again, even when they keep hurting you, or even when a memory continues to come back and stay in the back of your mind. Maybe going back to the basics is actually making a nice meal for them. Remember when y'all used to date and go out to eat? Spend time together just eating and sharing. 8 words from Isaiah jump out to me. He said, do not turn your back on your own. In closing, I want to share a story in the context of marriage, and of not turning your back on your spouse, even if or when it gets really dark. A true story. A woman found out that her husband was addicted to some sexual sin, more so on the online area. And she felt very betrayed, and I think rightly so. feelings of insufficiency she experienced, questioning what's wrong with me, if you have to turn to that. And after a while, she was very close to giving up and walking out of the marriage altogether. And kind of as a last resort, she ended up speaking to a priest. And the priest didn't give her some pious advice at the end. Oh, well, carry your cross. Your husband's wounded. Please support him. Even though those things are true in moments of great trauma, it doesn't always help. And he gave her what I think is some pretty unorthodox advice, and he told her, why don't you put on something nice? Get on one of your best dresses. Cook a nice dinner for your husband, light some candles, open up a good bottle of wine you guys have been saving, and surprise your husband when he comes home from work. And allow yourself to be loved and affirmed by him, and actually receive it. The priest told her that she needed to remind herself of her own beauty and her dignity, which she had lost. He told her to stop blaming herself for her husband's problems, stop blaming her husband for his problems, to stop the shaming constantly, and stop keeping him at an unnecessary distance, because he has consistently apologized. He was trying to make real amends to the marriage, and she wasn't receiving any of it. He was getting therapy, he went to an SA group, and yet she was still driving him farther and farther away. But all the signs is that this was a contrite man trying to win his wife back. The priest said, he is showing you that he still loves you and is fighting for you. But he's also fighting the darkness of sin and addiction in his life. Allow him to start loving you slowly but surely. And she did exactly that. And it was the beginning of healing in her marriage. Now, I don't know where most of you are at, but I hope that wherever you are, be it simple or be it something traumatic happened in your marriage or is happening, to be honest with your spouse, to not hide from the lies of sin and shame, but to lean on each other, to continue to forgive each other, not be resentful, but even in the hardest times to love them. And as the prophet Isaiah said today, never